not to sound crude, but that's what you really want. You want a chance meeting with a stranger and a knock on your bedpost. That's what you want. You want every night to be a one-night stand and it's all good, feel-good moments. I'm sorry. Sometimes you're going to wake up next to a hand grenade, and this is the way it is. And you are going to hurt yourself. But you got to say, look, you know what? I got pip drunk. I made some poor decisions. Thankfully, I'm not married to this person. And just slip out before they wake up and just live on, continue to trade and try not to do that same thing again. This goes for both the ladies and the men. You know what I'm talking about. Somebody just whispered, I just did that last weekend. How's you know? I'm watching. I got my eyes on you. But the reason why it's so difficult trading is because you're competing against a fucking savage in the making. You are such a formidable adversary that you alone are the one that's holding yourself back. Nobody else is holding you back. These yahoos on the internet that say what you're trying to learn doesn't work and all this, that didn't stop you. People commenting saying, oh, well, you're doing this and you're doing that. This is the real way of doing it. That doesn't motivate you to go chase that stuff. You're sticking to this. But you're the adversary. You're the one that's making it hard for yourself because you're trying to make Olympic feats out of something that's not necessary. You want every transaction to be perfect. And I mentioned this to my private group. I said, unfortunately, my approach to trading, and when I show my examples, and I show my examples are very consistent. You have people out there say, well, he's only cherry picking. When I show you the full account and I show you that there's no other trade executions and this is the only thing there is, and I call the only moves I trade on, I call the levels, it's never going to be enough. So I don't care. When I go into 2023, I'm not trying to prove anything. I want to just enjoy teaching. But my students, unfortunately, see this in me and they think that is something that they can obtain right away, right from Jump Street. Like they think, okay, I can do what ICT is saying in the charts. When he points to it, I can see it's real easy. But when he doesn't talk about it, I can't see it and I try to do it on my own and it blows up in my face. Okay, well, you're trying to force an issue. Number one, you're trying to force something that's not practical. You're trying to be someone that you can't be right now. And that means highly precise, detail-oriented, and results-driven. See, you're trying to be results-driven without the two factors I just mentioned. Like, you have to build discipline. That means you got to go through trial and error, feel that pain that you're trying to avoid. So you're trying to hide from that. Like, no, I don't want to get a paper cut. I don't want to get a scratch. Somebody's going to ask me what I did today, and it's going to be a losing trade, or they're going to ask me, why did you do that? There was no reason, because everybody wants to be an armchair quarterback. Everybody wants to tell somebody how they do it better, but they ain't trying to show you what they did. Okay, so that's the problem with this industry. It's so ego-driven. It's so image-driven. You got to remove all that stuff. Remove all of it. Your expectation should be low. Low. Very, very low objectives. Low-hanging fruit. That's how I teach it. And if you're comfortable in your own skin with that, even if you get it wrong, those little bruises, those little nicks, those paper cuts, when they occur, it's not that big of a deal. It might be a nuisance. You might look at it later and say, oh, well, yeah, I really didn't see what I thought I saw at the time. But you know what? From a monetary stance, it really didn't do too much damage to me. And, I'm still learning. What did you just do by doing that? Number one, you acknowledge that you made a mistake. There's nothing wrong with making mistakes. Mistakes are opportunities for you to learn. But why the fuck do you want to blow your account to learn? You're not learning anything from that, okay? You're learning to gamble. That's what you're doing. You're learning how to gamble. And honestly, there's very, very few gamblers that make it in this industry long term. They just don't exist. I'm not saying that you can't gamble and make money, but the problem is the gamblers don't generally know when to get up and walk away from the table. They think, well, I had a flash in the pan, win in crypto. I bought it. It ran up really good. It's going to keep doing that. Well, they found out that it doesn't work that way. Okay. And everybody that goes into these crypto markets think that they're going to see that stellar bull run again. And they discovered, just like every other market, that's not what they do. Because they have unrealistic expectations. They have Olympic expectations on a market. They don't always parabolically move. And if you have a trade and you put a trade on, if it doesn't give you immediate feedback that you're doing the right thing or holding a potential winner, you have my permission to kill the trade and feel no reason why you should feel any regret about it, even if it takes off in your favor. Because if you do this as general practice, you're going to find that you will get out of dog trades. Lying dogs make no money. Okay? They got to get up and run. If they ain't running, they're not going to get to your draw on liquidity. That means they're not going to go to your profit. You're not going to be with partials. You're not going to pay yourself. You can't get paid, and it's going to be frustrating. So why the hell are you in it?